Friends, in our quest to find the perfect car, we've prepared an exciting experiment for you. Today, gas cars, electric cars, hybrids, and conventional diesel cars will compete against each other. We've arrived at a large refueling complex by WOG, one of the biggest and most modern in Kyiv. It has a charging station, and across the road is the Vivat hub, one of the largest in the city. Right now, I'm standing next to the electric Peugeot E2008, the car I'll be using for this experiment. Across the road at the Vivat hub is my colleague Oleksiy, who's charging all the electric cars. Meanwhile, we're handling the hybrids here at the WOG station. The Peugeot E2008 is the updated facelift version with a 54 kilowatt-hour battery. I'll share more about this model later. Oleksiy, while we're refueling, could you introduce the cars at the start and tell our viewers about the electric vehicles?
Thank you, Dennis. We're almost ready except for the Tesla Model S, which we're expecting in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Sorry for the delay, but I brought something special. A rear-wheel drive Tesla Model S. It's one of the most energy-hungry models due to its large rear motor and lack of a heat pump. This Tesla was released before most of the cars participating in today's test were even built, so stay tuned. It's going to be interesting.
Now, let's meet each participant who will represent their electric cars.
Hello, my name is Yevgen, and this is my Volkswagen ID4 Cross. It has a power output of 150 kilowatts, 204 horsepower, and an 82 kilowatt-hour battery.
This is the BYD Song Champion 2024 model year front-wheel drive with an 87.4 kilowatt-hour battery and a 218 horsepower motor.
I'm Maxim, the owner of a Toyota BZ4X. It has a 72 kilowatt-hour battery and two powerful motors, each with 80 kilowatts.
Greetings, my name is Volodymyr, and this is the pre-facelift Zeekr 001. It delivers 544 horsepower with an 86 kilowatt-hour battery.
Hi, I'm Anton, the owner of a Tesla Model Y long range. Dual motor, European version 2022.
Hello, my name is Yuri. I am the owner of a 2022 BYD Tang. Power, 380 kilowatts, 517 horsepower, two motors.
Hi everyone, I'm Sergey, the owner of a 2019 Hyundai Kona. Battery, 64 kilowatt hours, power, 204 horsepower.
Another advantage of LPG is that it keeps your hands clean because it is always done by station employees. Also, people always need to step out of the car. The main feature of these cars is two tanks, LPG and petrol, providing a range of over 1,000 kilometers, approximately 621 miles.
The first checkpoint is the Adam Auto dealership, the official Hyundai dealer. We'll drive there in a convoy as much as possible and record the first consumption numbers there. The cars have been standing for over an hour and are fully cooled down, so we'll reset the trips and turn on the heaters. This first segment will simulate a morning commute to work. After driving 8 kilometers, around 5 miles on Kyiv's ring road, we hit a traffic jam. I've been sitting here for 2 minutes. There's an Opel ahead, and as always, things might not go as planned. But it'll probably be interesting. So as always, we're counting on your likes, friends. One big request. If you're already subscribed to our channel, please check if the bell icon is pressed and all notifications are enabled. This is very important for YouTube's algorithms. Thank you so much, and let's keep going. Here's a bit of a spoiler. What should you do in a traffic jam? Let's check fuel consumption. I think hybrids will probably do well. Not all of the participants have walkie-talkie, but it looks like the DS7 and Hyundai Kona do. Volodymyr, good day. Please give our viewers your fuel consumption figures because traffic jams are really a test for hybrids.
My Hyundai Kona shows 5.1 liters per 100 kilometers. We drove 8 kilometers in 26 minutes.
I think that's a good result. I think it's within the range of a normal internal combustion hybrid. Can you explain how your engines currently work? When does the car run on electricity and when on the internal combustion engine?
At the moment, the combustion engine is barely running. Before that, we were driving without traffic, so it managed to charge the battery a bit. Now we're running on electricity.
Roman, are you on the line? Tell us, what mode do you use on your plug-in hybrid, and what's the fuel economy?
My car shows a consumption of 1.1 liters per 100 kilometers for these 8 kilometers. I've done 83% of the distance on pure electricity.
Could you tell me if you use the hybrid mode where the car decides when to use electricity?
Yes, I'm driving in hybrid mode. There's 72% battery charge left because most of the route was covered on electricity.
Interesting. What do you think will happen when the situation changes?
I think the results won't be so positive.
And with these traffic jams and snowfalls, we'll probably see that.
Good day, my name is Volodymyr. Today I'm test driving a Hyundai Kona in its hybrid version. The Kona model comes in 2 configurations, electric and hybrid. Specifically, this is the hybrid version. The hybrid technology combines a 1.6-liter internal combustion engine with an electric motor. Their total power is 141 horsepower.
The results of the first run are in the table, and I think they're clear. Friends, based on these results, I'd like to ask you to make your predictions for the entire test. Your comments will help spread the word about this video.
Friends, we've reached the second checkpoint and are checking the readings. What will the ID4, the people's favorite Pro version, show us? Zhenya, please, what are your results?
17 kilometers, 23.9.
23.9, noted. Is that a lot? Let's find out from the others.
Peugeot 2008, 15. The little one got out of traffic and now it has 15.
An impressive result, but we haven't gotten to the Kona yet.
How much does BYD have?
Champion Song has 16.8 kilometers. 17 and 4 is less than ID4. Friends, this is probably the heaviest car among our participants. Let's look at the result. 21.5 over 17.2 kilometers. consuming 3.7 kilowatt hours.
Zeekr shows us 21.8.
21.8 kilometers noted. Tesla Model Y showed a good result in the first segment. What about now? 16.9 kilometers. That's almost like the Peugeot. Let's see. 15.1. Not bad, but Peugeot is still better. What did Toyota show in the second segment? Friends, today's record holder, the most energy-consuming car in the test, is the Tesla Model S.
23 and 1.
23.1 per 100. Remember, the Model Y showed 16.9. Stunning, simply stunning.
The Opel Grandland is one of the best deals on the Ukrainian market in terms of price and quality. The car starts at $29,000 in the diesel engine configuration. It has a modern 1.5-liter diesel engine producing 130 horsepower and 300 newton-meters of torque. The car is equipped with an 8-speed automatic transmission, matrix headlights, climate control, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, leather interior, heated front and rear seats, ventilated front seats, and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a very popular feature nowadays. This car offers the best balance of dynamics and fuel economy available today.
Hi, so I'm the owner of an Audi Q850 TDI. It has a 3.0 engine. Why diesel? Because it's about my time and comfort. I refuel quickly and drive off. Convenient and quite fast. Why not an electric car? I don't think I'm ready to own an electric vehicle. It seems like a significant time investment. By the way, from what I've learned, charging an electric car takes about an hour. Meanwhile, getting my nails done takes an hour and 20 minutes. It doesn't match. Sitting in the car for an hour while it charges? By the way, there's no charging point near my home or at work. So my choice is diesel.
This is the Peugeot 3008. It's built on the same platform as the DS7 we have. I'd say about 80% of the parts are shared. It has a 2.0-litre turbo diesel engine meeting the Euro 5 standard. This Euro 5 engine was specifically chosen to avoid issues with additional purification systems. It delivers 150 horsepower and is paired with a classic 6-speed hydraulic automatic transmission. We'll see how it performs.
The Renault Koleos uses an engine from the Nissan Rogue or X-Trail. It's a 2.5-liter gasoline engine producing 170 horsepower. It's equipped with a 4th-generation LPG system and runs well on LPG. Last time we competed on the highway, this car consumed about 10 liters of LPG per 100 kilometers. At that time, its cost per kilometer was somewhere between diesel and electric cars. But back then, LPG prices were slightly lower. I filled up 65 liters of LPG. In the city, it consumes about 15 liters of LPG per 100 kilometers. The Renault Fluence is essentially a Renault Megane with a sedan body. This car was on the market for a while, but is no longer available. Few people know it even had an electric version launched simultaneously with the Nissan Leaf in 2011.
I have to leave the competition, friends, but I'll head to the charging station now. Charge up to 80% and share my trip results. I drove another 3 kilometers with a consumption of 18.8 per 100 kilometers. I covered a total of 37 kilometers. The average consumption recorded by the onboard computer is 19.2. The charge was 68% and now it's 69%, so I've charged. Charging complete. Added 11 kilowatt hours.
Friends, as we head to our third checkpoint, a Jeep and Peugeot dealership, I just want to say I didn't expect our little Peugeot to consume on par with the Hyundai Kona, but that's the reality. Currently, consumption stands at 17.9 per 100 kilometers over the last 17 kilometers. We're heading to the dealership. For the whole day, the average consumption was 18.4 per 100 kilometers. Our total distance so far is 51 kilometers, with an average speed of 28 kilometers per hour.
Friends, we've covered another distance and arrived at the third checkpoint. Let's look at the results of the Song Champion. Consumption is 18.4 per 100 kilometers. Distance covered, 21.2 kilometers. Energy consumed, 3.9 kilowatt hours. Great results. Let's check out the other participants. Surprise us with the little Peugeot's result.
Here are the numbers, 17.6.
I'm noting it down. My BlueHDi song shows 18.4 liters. The Toyota BZ4X recorded 17.1 liters.
Today I'm driving the brightest car, the Jeep Avenger Hybrid. If you want to spice up your daily life, this vibrant little car is for you. Plus, it's very eco-friendly and technologically advanced. My consumption in this car is 4.8 liters per 100 kilometers. This hybrid car features a gasoline engine and an electric motor integrated into the transmission, significantly saving fuel in the city.
Today I'm presenting quite a unique brand, DS, specifically the DS7 model. It's a plug-in hybrid with a 1.6-liter turbocharged gasoline engine producing 200 horsepower and 2 electric motors. The combined power output is 300 horsepower. The 14.2 kilowatt-hour battery allows for an electric range of 50 to 60 kilometers in perfect conditions. In the city, it's a bit less.
We have arrived to the last checkpoint. Let's check our results. It was more than 60 kilometers in the city. Traffic jams, congestion, snow, ice, and now I'm standing near the Jeep Avenger recording the consumption. 6.3 liters over a 64-kilometer trip. Trip B from the dealership shows a significantly higher consumption, 7.9 liters. We move to the diesel-powered Opel Grandland. I'm curious to see how this vehicle performs. It's a large car, but equipped with a compact turbo-diesel engine. For the last 6 kilometers, the consumption was 8.1 liters, while for the entire day, it averaged 6.3 liters. This is quite good, considering the traffic and weather conditions. As you can see, this car also covered 64 kilometers. Throughout the day, this vehicle demonstrated consistently good results. For the last trip of 6 kilometers, the consumption was 7.6 liters. Over the whole day, it averaged 5.4 liters, which is an excellent result. I'm curious to see what the tank will show after refueling. The DS7 has covered more than half the distance without battery support, and what do we see? Consumption is at 5.5 liters. That's quite decent, comparable to the Hyundai Kona. Many believe Toyota has made significant advancements in hybrid technology. Over the last 6 kilometers, we recorded a consumption of 4.2 liters. For the entire day, it averaged 2.6 liters. This is likely a record, but we also need to account for electricity consumption. Now moving to the 3.0-liter turbo diesel, it's the most powerful vehicle among those with internal combustion engines in this lineup. The total consumption for the day was 9.2 liters. Unfortunately, the onboard computer wasn't reset for the last 6 kilometers, so the figures are high for that trip. We won't know for sure, or maybe it's cursed. Leave your thoughts in the comments. And we almost forgot about the Peugeot. It consumed 10.2 liters over the last short distance and 7.4 liters for the entire day. Now, we're definitely heading to the WOG station to grab dinner. Then we'll fill the tank to the brim and analyze the results.
Friends, we've covered the last trip, which was quite short, at 5.6 kilometers. Let's write down the results. The BYD Song Champion showed a consumption of 28.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. For this stretch, it used 1.6 kilowatt hours. We're recording the results for all electric vehicles and summarizing the total consumption. Now, let's move on to our champion, the Tesla Model S. Let's look at the last stretch. I think everyone will have interesting results.
33.3 kilowatts, and that's not even the worst result.
33.3. What about the BYD Tang? 33.3. And what does the Volkswagen ID4 say?
32 and 7.
Disaster. What about Toyota? 39 kilowatts for the last trip. Wow. And the total results for today, 22 and 9. Zeekr is doing great. Friends, I'm very curious to hear from Dennis. Dennis, are you there?
I'm heading to the car now. I forgot the numbers. They aren't very encouraging. The consumption for the last 6 kilometers was 33.4 kilowatt hours.
Well, I must say you're almost a record holder. Tell me, please, what are your total consumption stats for today?
I've traveled 64 kilometers. The average consumption is 19.6 kilowatt hours.
What's your remaining battery percentage now? And what was the percentage at the start?
Currently, it's at 55%, and I started at 80%.
Great. We'll plug in the electric vehicles for charging and proceed to the final calculations.
We're refueling again through pride. I've already charged several cars today, and I must say, it's pretty convenient. Our session has started. We'll be charging from 54% to 80%. The power is increasing now, but I don't think it'll exceed 50 kilowatts. Analyzing the table of fuel consumption for internal combustion engine cars and hybrids, we decided to add a power-to-weight ratio comparison. The table also includes consumption based on the onboard computer, consumption from the fuel tank, and in the last column, the cost per kilometer. For hybrids, we calculated this twice. Since some people can charge their hybrid vehicles at home using a subsidized residential tariff, while others use commercial fast charging stations. Also, friends, I'd like to point out that the Hyundai Kona hybrid showed lower fuel consumption according to the tank. Perhaps we underfilled it somewhere, so for this calculation, I'm leaning more towards the onboard computer's figure of 5.4 liters. The situation with the Renault Koleos was unclear. If we calculate the consumption per 100 kilometers based on the tank, it comes out to 29 liters of gas per 100 kilometers, which is impossible. Therefore, I suspect that the pump nozzle clicked off prematurely during refueling. As a result, we added more gas than was actually consumed over those 64 kilometers. Share your thoughts in the comments. The rest of the calculations were predictable. Now let's move on to electric vehicles. In the second table, which covers only electric cars, there's one significant difference. The cost per kilometer is calculated 3 ways, depending on the charging type. The first option, residential tariff. The second, slow public charging. The third, fast charging. Analyzing these results, I'm confident everyone will draw their own conclusions. Some charge at the residential tariff, others have access to even lower night rates. Whether it's expensive or cheap, it's up to you to decide. In conclusion, I want to note that I've realized we've been ignoring modern hybrids for too long. So we're starting a new project called The Ideal Car. It's a separate YouTube channel where we'll be testing different hybrids. I understand that many of you are no longer interested in hybrids, but I can't be a full-fledged expert in electric vehicles without the ability to compare them with alternative technologies. This was Dennis with First Electric Ride. See you next time.